to my channel. If you're new, I hope you'll stick around to see our homeschool journey. My name is Jamie and I'm a homeschool mama of 3 boys. They are almost 2, and then I have a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old. I'm a former public school educator and I taught grades kindergarten, 2nd, and 3rd before I decided to stay home and teach my kiddos. In today's video, I wanted to share with you guys how I have adapted and changed my homeschool schedule compared to the very beginning of the year homeschool schedule. So what I have learned with homeschooling is it's okay to change it. When I first started, I thought I was like, coming from that public school background, I was more like, this is how we're going to do it and it's going to be really structured. And over the years, I have changed it and adapted it to fit my kids. And when something's not working, I change it. I scratch it out. I said, this isn't working for our family anymore. And I fix it, which is a great thing to be able to do, because I know coming from a public school background, I wasn't allowed to touch the schedule. Even if it wasn't working for my kiddos, I wasn't allowed to switch the schedule. When I say kiddos, I mean like my class, my students. But now I can reflect on that and say, hey, this isn't working, and I can switch it for my family. So that's something that I'm super excited about and love. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of talk to you about what my old schedule was and then how I changed my schedule for the rest of the school year. So I have found that some things just did not work with our schedule. So I've completely revamped our schedule. One of the things I realized that did not work was time periods. I didn't like that. It stressed me out if we got off of our time period or if we weren't doing writing at 9 o'clock. So I got rid of all time periods. There's no such thing as time periods. Another thing that I changed is before I was doing, my kids were homeschooling at the exact same time. But what I realized is that made us go longer because there was a lot of distractions and it was a lot of stop because of the toddler. Oh, stop. We got to do this. Oh, no, the toddler's doing. Oh, we got to take a break for a minute. Oh, stop. And I realized that school was taking way too long, but it wasn't even too long. It was so many distractions. I felt like it was messing with their thinking ability and how well they were working. So I decided to just say, nope, we're not going to do that anymore. And now what we do is we do school a lot differently. My 8-year-old gets up around 8:30 and my 6-year-old gets up around 9:30. So there's about an hour difference in between them. So this is kind of how I run my day. When I get up with my toddler and my 8-year-old, do is I make breakfast. So they're eating their breakfast. While they're eating their breakfast, I'm just cleaning up breakfast dishes or working on something. And then as soon as unless I'm eating with them, sometimes I eat with them. If it's like bacon and eggs, I'll eat with them. If they're wanting a Pop-Tart or cereal, sometimes I just skip eating breakfast. Or I'll eat like my little breakfast cookies. But as I'm eating my breakfast cookies, I'm walking around doing laundry and all kinds of things. So after they eat breakfast, they go and play. While they play, I jump into the shower real quick, or if I've already showered for the day, I'll finish doing my makeup and my hair and getting dressed. Because I like to start my day completely ready. It just makes me feel like I'm more productive. Then what I do is then I get my toddler ready. I get him dressed, I get him all ready, and while I'm getting him ready, my 8-year-old works on his chores. And his chores are feed the dog, feed the fish, brush his teeth, get dressed, and make his bed. While he's working on his chores, by this time, normally my 6-year-old is up. So what I do is I say, hey, let's go eat breakfast. So he goes and eats breakfast while his brother does his chores. When the 8-year-old's done doing his chores, he has free time, which he plays with the toddler. While he's playing with the toddler, my 6-year-old has finished breakfast, and then he goes and does his chores. His chores are empty the dishwasher, which I normally help him with, because I don't like him to put up anything that's too high for him to reach. He has to bring down all the laundry from upstairs, and once he brings it downstairs, I will then go load the washing machine. And if there's anything in the dryer, I'll take it out and start folding it. And then he also has to get dressed, brush his teeth, and make his bed. Once he's got dressed, brushed his teeth, and made his bed, then what we do is we do rooted in reading. So that's our reading curriculum. If you've missed the videos on those, I try to post one every week. I will leave a link down below for the actual main curriculum. So when we do reading, what that is, it's a 30-minute period that I work with them. I set a timer, we do 30 minutes, and then they're done. The way that for the 30 minutes, what I normally do is in the mornings, I can normally get my toddler to look at books, play with puzzles, or do some type of toddler activity that I pulled out for him for that 30-minute period. Now, granted, he's not sitting still for 30 minutes. It's, oh, let's look at a book for 5 minutes. Oh, now I'm going to run to the playroom and play for 5 minutes. Oh, now I'm going to come back and do a puzzle for 5 minutes. Or I'm going to build with blocks. But I can normally get him to play independently or play with me for that 30-minute period of time. So for reading, it's read a story. So normally I can get him to listen to the story or he'll come and go. So I read them the story, and then they do the little worksheets that come with it, and I'm kind of there to assist and guide them. So even if I'm sitting on the floor doing a puzzle with the little guy, I'm right there with them. And so I'm still there to help them. So we do the rooted in reading for 30 minutes. Then we take a break. Normally it's like a 5-minute break just for me to switch gears. We clean up all the rooted in reading stuff. They get a 5-minute break, and then I'll go ahead and get out all of the stuff to get my 6-year-old ready for school. And then what I do is I set a timer for 45 minutes. In this 45-minute period of time, I'm going to tell you what my 6-year-old's doing and what my 8-year-old's doing and what my toddler's doing. So in this period of time, my 6-year-old, he's with me. He's working one-on-one in the classroom with me. We do math, spelling, writing, sight words, phonics, calendar, spelling, writing, phonics. He does head sprout on the computer, and he also reads a book to me. A little book, he reads it with me, and I sit down with him. And guess what? We can do all of that in 45 minutes. I know, it sounds like a lot, but we can get it done because it's just me and him, and it's one-on-one, and it's quiet, and we can get it done. He rarely goes over the 45-minute period. Today, he did go over the 45-minute period, and the timer went off. And I asked him, I said, hey, do you want to stop and come back to me later and get a break, or do you want to finish through? He said, I only have one more little thing to do on this lesson. He said, it won't take me no time. I'm just going to keep working. I was like, okay. But he rarely goes over the 45-minute period. So we get a lot done. Well, he's doing work with me. My toddler and my 8-year-old are playing together in the playroom. That's what they do. The playroom is like right beside the classroom, so I can still hear them. I can see them. I do go in there and check on them. But for the most part, they play. They are so happy to play in that playroom, and my toddler's happy to play with his brothers. That's the big key. He just doesn't want to be alone. So then we switch. So then for the next 45-minute period, the 8-year-old comes with me. The 6-year-old goes plays with his brother. Again, I check on them. I am there. If they get tired of playing in the playroom, sometimes they will come in the classroom and I'll pull out some puzzles for them, or I'll pull out like some little toddler activities, and the 6-year-old likes to sit there and play with his brother with them. He's like, look, you can do this, you can do that. Like he's teaching him. So what I do for that 45-minute period for my 8-year-old is he does spelling, he does writing. He doesn't have phonics with me or sight words with me because he's mastered them. He has head sprout. He has independent reading, which I make him read for 10 to 15 minutes. Normally it's 15 minutes. Very rarely do I let him do 10, maybe like on a Friday. 15 minutes of independent reading. He either can read with me, or sometimes he reads it completely silent to himself, and then I do like a little quick check, like what did you read? Tell me about it, and I kind of already know what the book has been about. He also does calendar and math during that time period. So that's what his 45 minutes look like. He does spelling, writing, head sprout, math, and then independent read for 15 minutes. So that is all he does in that 45-minute period. Again, if it goes over, I stop the timer and I'll say, do you want to continue or do you want to stop and take a break? Almost always he'll say, I just have a few more minutes left until I'm done with this anyways. I'll just continue. Then at this time in the day, it is lunchtime. We stop. They all go play. I make them lunch. We eat lunch together. And then a lot of times at lunch, if we have time, we do like a little fitness walking video on the TV. And even my toddler likes them. Or we will go outside and take a walk. And then what I do is my big boys have free time. And the little guy comes with me. I put him down and get him ready for a nap. Then when I come back, I do 30 minutes again of loop subjects with my children. And I've changed the loop schedule too. So before we were doing like Monday, I would do science and social studies. Tuesday, we would do music and art. Wednesday, we would do Spanish and geography. And we did that. And what I realized is we were only doing science one day out of the week. And it was too much for their brains to switch gears constantly. Like, oh, we're learning about the brain today. Oh, tomorrow we're learning about ancient Egypt. Oh, the next day we are learning about Mozart. It was too much. So I changed how we do our loops. So I want to say that we're still doing a loop schedule, but it looks differently now. So now what I do is I spend 1 to 2 weeks in a subject. So last week we did science and Spanish. This week we're only doing science. So Spanish got 1 week, science got 2 weeks. I just feel like that's better because I can finish like a little unit in 2 weeks. So right now for science, we have actually been learning about the respiratory system. And we're going to finish up the respiratory system in these 2 weeks. And then when we come back to science, we're still going to be doing anatomy, but we're moving on to your 5 senses. And I just feel like that's going to be better. So next week, we're actually going to start geography. And we're going to do geography. And we're going to learn about a state. And I can do in a week. And we're going to do geography. And we're going to do music. And I feel like that will only take a week. And then like the next week, we move on and we're going to do like history, ancient civilizations. And we're going to do art. And then I just continue it through like that. So then we would be back to that science. And that's pretty much how we're going to do our new schedule. I hope this video made sense to you. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And subscribe to my channel to see more homeschool videos. If you would like me to do kind of like a day in the life to walk you through like a school day with us in a day, leave that down in the comments below. I know I watch a lot of those videos. And I've been kind of intimidated to do one. So if you guys wanted to see that, like that would kind of push me a little bit to be less intimidated. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed.